This is the first time that I'm getting the opportunity to make a comment about this. And so I've been hearing that something that has been going on and people are tired of hearing it. As you know, I was out of town on, leading a non-aligned movement parliamentary network conference somewhere. So I just got back and haven't actually, it's the first time, as I said. I have read a few about this, things about this, and I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. And surprisingly, I saw this coming, but I didn't even know that it would take this form. As you rightly said, my good friend, Honorable Rev Ntim Fodjour, is the ranking member of the Interior and Defense, a committee that I also serve on. And I have never been on the committee before, in all my life in Parliament. This is the first time I've had the opportunity to serve on a committee. I'm not security or intelligence expert. So basically, we are all learning. We have two ministers, that is the Interior Minister and the Defense Minister. So it's a joint committee. So briefings are given by the ministers. So they have just taken office as two ministers, Defense and Interior. And we have invited them as a committee to give us a briefings on some of the things that are going on. In that meeting, of course, we have all sworn an oath. In that meeting, there were quite a number of things said at the meeting. Of course, I've sworn it, so I cannot talk about any of those things. But I sat there for a while, and I thought too much information was being given to the committee. As I said, I've not been on a committee before, so I don't know how much information is given out and all that. But the ministers, and at one point, one of the ministers said that, I know you have all sworn a oath of secrecy, which obviously, it's like he prompted himself that maybe I'm saying more than I should say. In fact, I discussed with, not discussed, but I said something to one of the colleagues on the committee that, is that what did he, I mean, she has been on a committee before. So I said, is that what they do on a committee? I mean, I think there's too much information here. But then again, we are the Defense and Interior Committee. So if the ministers are going to say anything about, we are the ones, and if we have any information, that is also the place to. So if Reverend Ntim Fodjour had any information, just as the ministers were giving us information, he could have also come up with the information that he's gotten. I believe that Honorable Fodjour has no intelligence. And I'll tell you why.
He has no information of intelligence.
Oh, information of intelligence. I should put it that way properly. No information of intelligence. But as a partisan and parochial interest and wanted to shine, to his base, he picked one or two things being said and embellished it. That's what I think he did. As I said, I cannot talk about things that were said. And so when I heard it, as I said, I suspected, because I said the information being given to us It's an information that can be taken and misconstrued, and all sorts of things can be done to that information. So that's why I asked that, do we get that much information, that much briefings? But then I thought, if we don't get that much briefing, who should the Interior and the Defense Minister be talking to actually? So he just took something that does not relate to what they were telling us, but you can easily make a story out of it to make this story. And that is why he's got himself into that difficulty of now saying things that he has no evidence, these allegations that he's made. Quite frankly, he's wasting everybody's time, because the NIBs and all that chasing him up, I can tell you the guy has nothing, no information. Because when I put two and two together, I can see where he's coming from. You know, committees, we have been told that you can get a lot of information from your committee and help your party in terms of, especially when you are in opposition. So, I mean, in our time, those things came from the finance committee and all that, and that's what we build our opposition on. So he probably wants to lead his opposition, not in terms of becoming a leader, but actually creating this line of stories from, if what I'm thinking is right, I think, and this is probably strong to say, that we may have to look at expelling him from the Interior and Defense Committee. Probably strong. But for the reason that it will become difficult going forward for the Interior and Defense Committee to actually get briefings from the two ministries, because this oath of secrecy and all that we have done has proven to be not the case. I can tell you that his story came out of some briefing, and he took it to a different level and embellished it with something that is untruth, and came out to it, did this press conference, and now he's in a situation that he's being invited to come and substantiate what he's been saying, and he has no basis. And then he's doing macho stuff. You know, I am not commending or I condemn the manner in which, you know, people are invited, in terms of, we have had a few incidents where people's home, you know, they've attacked their home, or they've gone to their home to invite them. I don't know whether that's the right procedure to do it. But if he really has that information, and he's in that powerful position of a ranking member, he should go to the security agencies himself. Nobody should even invite him. But he's acted irresponsibly as a ranking member to go to town with this story that he's peddling around. But as I said, I suspected, not him, but I suspected that the information that we were getting, somebody is going to try and create something out of it. Less than a week, and the story was already out about planes, about cocaine and all that. Look, without belittling these things, one of the, I should say, four things basically that is troubling Africa today and creating all the problems we have today is this narcotics issue, the drug smuggling issue. The second one is money laundering issue. The third is illicit financial flows. And fourth, obviously, is corruption. These four things are killing us. And anything that comes after this should not be handled lightly. Therefore, it is important that We investigate matters of, drug smuggling, money laundering, illicit, financial flows and corruption. But that does not mean that you can create stories that are not credible just for parochial interest or for partisan sake. You want to, sort of do something to show some macho-ness or that you have access to information from, to your base. So, my friend, Honorable Ntim Fodjour, this thing has taken a new twist. And why people are fed up with it is that we are wasting resources on this. We are distracting our security services because real drug smuggling, real illicit financing, real money laundering is actually going on as we go on with this story. NIB people are in a house that they probably shouldn't be because the issues are somewhere else which they have not even, because of distraction they are following. So I think he's been very irresponsible. As I said, I was in a committee with him. I mean, he is a ranking member there. And I knew that something was going to come out of what we were being briefed on, and nothing to do with drugs or anything. But he's been able to create this story out of it, done a press conference, unilateral press conference. If you have that information, even me, an ordinary member of the committee, could have gone to the security service, and you, the ranking member, can call for a meeting and probably discuss these matters. But you choose to do it another way, and then everything has become partisan in this country. That once he's doing it for the party, we should all follow him, try and, help him to resist arrest or whatever it is. That's what we've become. And we are creating a security risk in this country by these kind of things. As I said, destruction of security agencies and all that, it's not going to make them focus and perform their duties as they should. So it is right that if he did not invite himself, to be invited. The method of inviting him, I don't know whether they were in stages. They called him, he didn't come, and then they went for him. I don't know how that happened. But I condemn any kind of breaking into people's homes to try and arrest them, for trying to bring them to help with investigation. There should be a better way of doing these things. But he brought it on himself. I am quite sure of that. I will be shocked if something is found out of this. The story was created, embellished for parochial interest. And we will see that at the end of the day, as we continue to talk about this, eventually whether he invites himself or they take him, or I don't know, whether it goes through parliament or whatever, we will find out that there's nothing in this. And we have taken an awful lot of time, resources that we could have used to investigate genuine and proper cases of cocaine smuggling and all these things that I have mentioned. But we'd rather use it politically to play a political game and get all manner of people behind people saying this is a political witch hunt and all that. But the politics is making us irresponsible. As political elite, we are becoming irresponsible because of partisan politics. We are quick to run to town to destroy people, destroy names, destroy that, just because we are trying to play to our base. And we know that if anything happens, our colleagues from our side will come and help us. This has gone down to even the grassroots. Somebody commits, an honorable member is here. He's been an MP. Somebody does something wrong, commits a crime. They take him to the police station. And then he calls his MP or the party.
Yeah.
And he says, because I'm NDC, because I'm NPP. Because we started this at the top. They know that when they get into trouble, their people will come, whether they are wrong, whether they've been corrupt or whatever. You get away with it. Corruption will become a political witch hunt. Anything will be political witch hunt. And your people will come. You may have people on your side who even believe you've done the crime, who will come and support you. Because you are trying to look after each other. And that has trickled down to the very bottom. That there's not a genuine crime anymore in this country. Every crime has a political color. Because I'm NPP, because I'm NDC. That's the country we live in today. And people like him, as I said, I am looking forward of some punitive action taken against him in Parliament. Because now he jeopardizes getting the right briefing. Because everybody, the ministers are going to be careful now in what they say. And we may not get the right briefing. I hope not. Because of people like him and the things that they've done. And there has to be something, or something needs to happen that will deter people who have been given that kind of responsibility and sworn an oath of secrecy to just open their mouth and say anything just because to them it makes political sense. So, I don't know where this is going to end, but I can tell you it will not amount to anything. I really believe in what I think has taken place. He's a nice guy, but I thought he probably wanted to punch above his weight in creating all these things. And now, of course, he's been able to achieve that. He's in all newspapers, and everybody is talking about him. But there's nothing wrong. It's not a crime to make an allegation about something that you have a suspicion. But it has to be credible. Because if it's not, you're going to create a security risk and a distraction. And for somebody in that position of responsibility, it's unacceptable. Really unacceptable. And I think that's how this thing will go. But I'm more interested in what happens to him in Parliament. I would not want to be sitting in an Interior and Defense Committee with him. Because I don't know what I will say that will end up out. I never suspected that something happens, it will be him. But it just happened that he has come out to say something that closely ties in with something. And that is completely different. But he's been able to marry the two to create some kind of a believable story, because we have a smuggling issue in the country, because we have a money laundering issue in the country, and therefore it sounds good, and therefore we should listen to him. But that is, we're wasting resources in following this issue, and it's been going on here for a week or so, and it's still going on. Now it's taking a different twist. Now it's not about the matter anymore. It's not about the place that arrived there, but it's the method in which he was being invited to go and explain himself. This is unfortunate. And there are bigger issues, bigger fish to fry in this country. The situation that we are in terms of the economy and where we are going. And Honorable Ntim Fodjour steals the day. That's unfortunate.